What up? It's your boy T-Man Reaction. Today is Wrestling Wednesday. Now this is an interesting one I seen from Blano. He like to put like some like all time videos well too, aside from like videos about hot takes or current state of wrestling and all that as well too. So this is one of them right here. 10 WWE wrestlers who almost joined an iconic fashion. And there's been always words you hear from like backstories about like a certain wrestler, excuse me, certain wrestler, no, I'll take that back. Yeah, certain wrestler not almost joining our faction is at the time as well too. One of the ones I definitely remember is Mark Jindrak was being part of Evolution. Actually, if you see the original video, uh, the video played during the Titantron is Mark Jindrak is instead of Batista. I think at the time Batista was injured. I think it was dealing with injury at the time that he was going to step in for him, but they decided to do away because his relation his friendship with Randy Orton was getting too much in the way. Um, yeah, I said Mark Ginger, right? Yep, and then many others that was supposed to join a faction and didn't happen because they didn't fit well, or it was issues, or injury prevented them to do it well. But other than that, let's check out some of these 10 W wrestlers who enjoy a faction. Well, let's get it. I mean, if the Mark Ginger ain't on you know the story anyway, but let's get it.
In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 wrestlers who almost joined
Yep, there you
iconic
go. Right,
WWE
see?
factions. Coming in at number 10, we have Baron Corbin and Luchasaurus who almost joined the Wyatt family. When you think of the
Oh, I can see that, and both of them. Because if you first you don't know, the guy behind Luchasaurus was actually on NXT for a while, for a good minute as well too, though, before he got dropped though. And these guys was the first member of the Wyatt when Bray Wyatt uh Wyndham Rotundo, RIP to him, started this. It was one of his first guys was actually Eon Cottonwood, a former NXT competition show competitor, was one of the first Wyatt member to be part with him though before he got dropped because he kind of was ass in the wrestling anyway. So, but still, but anyway, so then I can see but I can kind of see both of them being part of Wyatt first. I can definitely see that.
Wyatt family, names like Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan
RIP
come
to
to mind.
yeah, RIP to both Bray and Luke, by the way.
Maybe even Braun
And Braun
Strowman if you're
Strowman, of
thinking
course.
about their later run. But originally, two completely different guys were almost a part of the group, and those guys
Hmm.
are Baron Corbin and Luchasaurus from AEW. The WWE actually
Yeah,
filmed
Kitewood.
backstage promos
There you
with
go.
Corbin alongside Bray Wyatt, which were never released. The idea was to build him as a mysterious, quiet powerhouse
Mm.
under Bray's command. At the time, Corbin was still trying to find his identity
Yep.
in NXT, and this would have launched him as a follower instead of a lone wolf. And then
Mm.
Luchasaurus revealed in interviews that he was also considered to be a member of the Wyatt family, but injuries took that offer off the
Yup.
table. He would later reinvent himself on the indies and
Yup.
become Luchasaurus, a
Yup.
masked dinosaur martial artist wrestler. Yes,
Hmm.
it's a wild gimmick, but it works. In
Now, I'm here's I can show you what he looked like back there at NXT. Give me a quick second. I'm back. So yeah, I tried to zoom in for it, but this is what Lucifer looked like when he was on NXT as what was it, Judas Devlin. Here you go right here. It's the best I can do. So I had to zoom in my browser to get it because the picture was so small. But yeah, that's what he looked like. So like I said, you can see him be a possibly a member of the Y because he had to look dope for sure. Anyway, let's get back to it though. Let me put this back on regular size. Anyway, once again.
hindsight, Harper, Rowan, and Bray had a unique, gritty energy that just
Hmm.
worked. Imagine if we had to sit through Corbin in a straw hat or Luchasaurus doing swamp magic. That might have been
Right.
so bad that it could have destroyed the Wyatt family before
Mm.
they even got to WWE's main roster. Number 9, Matt Morgan in the Brothers of Destruction. In
Ooh.
2005, Matt Morgan almost became
Oh,
a third member of the Brothers of Destruction.
why?
WWE's creative team
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah, it was no way that would have worked at all. There was no way. I'm gonna be honest, it was no way. no matter what, no way that would happen. That would work at all. That was strictly stuff just for them. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. I don't know why you even thought about that.
Pitched an idea where Morgan would debut as Abel, a not so subtle biblical reference to Cain, and he
Oh,
would wear a mask like his brother. It would have created a new trio built around The Undertaker, Cain, and Abel, trying to tie in a deeper mythology between the characters. Vince McMahon even approved early sketches and storyboards, but at the last minute he pulled the plug, and it was
glad he
probably
did.
the right call.
Right.
Morgan ended up being repackaged with a stuttering gimmick, which was somehow
Yeah.
worse, but at least he wasn't shoehorned into a storyline that would have turned the legendary Brothers of Destruction into a soap
I'm laughing because that whole little segment, he was looking for the hard points and he in the wrong room. He has that beat and Undertaker like, next time knock. Y'all looked at me like,
opera family drama. Imagine trying to add a third wheel to Taker and Kane's dynamic.
yeah,
That's
it
like
would
trying
not
to add
work.
a third Mario brother. It
Right.
just doesn't work. Number 8, China in the NWO. Before she ever joined DX and
Oh,
changed the game for women in wrestling, China was nearly a part of WCW's most dominant faction, the New World Order. In
wow.
her auto
So she was cool with the click anyway, regardless. Wow, but wow. What? Yeah, wow. That's interesting right there.
biography, China revealed that WCW reached out to her with interest in making her the first female member of
Mm.
the NWO, and at the
Can you
time, she
imagine?
was already training and making waves in the independent scene.
Yup.
WCW saw her size and unique look and thought that she would have been a perfect fit, but she turned it down and chose WWE instead, where she debuted as Triple H's silent bodyguard and quickly became a fan favorite. Within a
Yup.
year, she was a part of D-Generation X and redefined gender roles in the company.
She
Would
did.
China have made history with WCW? Probably, but being
Yeah,
an
she would have.
NWO would have most likely made her just another member of 30 plus guys.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It was already too many members of that group, so yeah, she would have got lost in the shuffle. But she was definitely made an impact on WCW as a member. But at the time, too many members, and she would have got a shot, and she got in WWE though. So yeah, and RP China, by the way.
Instead, the WWE gave her a platform to shine in a smaller
hmm
group with a more prominent role,
hmm
and that was a difference maker in getting her to sign over there.
And too, she would eventually get over as a babyface first because of their DX getting over as face later down the line, and then her role of trying to prove the world. Then later right that she turned heel, then turned back face, trying to prove that women should be as dominant as men too, with the whole thing with Jeff Jarrett and all that. So yeah.
Number 7, Dan Severn with the Ministry of Darkness. Dan Severn was
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I can see that, but I feel like he would probably get lost in the shuffle too. But I can see him being that because dude
a
had to look.
legitimate shoot fighter, a real deal MMA and
Yes,
NWA champion, and the
yes.
WWE wanted to capitalize on that, but they had a
hmm
very bizarre idea. They wanted him to be a part of the Ministry of Darkness. To fit the gimmick, Vince McMahon told Severn that he would need to shave 666 into his forehead and go
Oh,
all in on the
that's probably
satanic
for hell
vibe.
no.
Severn, who was from small town Michigan and
Yeah,
had real world business sponsors,
yeah, he
laughed
couldn't
and
do that.
declined. He
He
later
couldn't do
said
that.
that there are things I just wouldn't do for a
Yeah,
paycheck,
he
and
couldn't do
that
that.
was one of them. It's a
Yeah,
smart move.
it was a smart move, and I don't blame you. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not worth it. No.
While the Ministry helped launch The Undertaker's supernatural evolution, throwing in a serious no-nonsense fighter like him into the group of druids and
Mm,
devil worshippers would have been completely tone deaf. Dan Severn might have ended up as the only guy in history to get released for being
mhm.
too normal. Number 6, Caitlyn with the Divas of Doom. In 2011,
So I can see that. I can kind of see that. They probably was going to have her turn heel on AJ Lee at the time, who was a chick buster. They was a chick buster and joined them. I can see that because she's dominant as well. She was dominant as well too. But
and
yeah.
the WWE had a brief but interesting plan to expand the Divas of Doom, who were the powerful duo of
hmm
Beth Phoenix and Natalya, who wanted to destroy the Barbie doll
Yeah.
era of the WWE Women's Division. The person they wanted to add was Caitlyn. The WWE even filmed a SmackDown segment where Caitlyn turned heel and aligned
Mm-hmm.
with
Yup.
Beth and Natalia,
Yup.
but the
I
segment
think,
was cut
yeah,
before
I had, yep, I figured that was the way they were gonna do it too, because because they was the victim of the Chick Busters pride time where Natalia put them in like a unique version of the sharpshooter where she had him upside down on a neck and everything. Yeah, but this actually when AJ was a heel and they went at each other.
it ever aired. Nobody knows why. Maybe it didn't get the reaction they wanted, or maybe they
Mm.
changed their minds at the last minute.
And for those they do that sometimes because they did it was a veil them testing out Lesnar as champion. He ain't get no pop, so that's why they never fulfilled with keeping him champion.
Caitlyn continued as a babyface and eventually
Hmm.
became the Divas champion, while
Yup.
the Divas of Doom slowly faded away. But
Hmm.
imagine if that trend actually
That's the move right there I was talking about. Was okay. I thought it was like a sharpshooter. I thought she had like a unique sharpshooter, but I didn't know she had two legs with them though.
happened. It could have been the beginning of what we later saw with stronger and more athletic female
Hmm.
talent dominating the roster. Instead, it
Hmm.
became another forgotten what if. Number 5, Christopher Daniels with the Brood, Edge, Gangrel, and Christian. That's the
Oh.
trio we got.
That's why he went with he's been going with that fallen angel gimmick for a while. Okay, that explains a lot, but I mean, we got what we got, so I'm gonna say about
But
that.
originally, Christian wasn't even in the picture. WWE's
Oh.
plan was for Christopher Daniels to be the third member of the Brood. Daniels had the look, he had the work
Hmm.
rate, and the vampire mystique. But Edge went to bat for Christian, insisting
Yep,
that
that
he
was his
had much better
boy. Of
chemistry with
course.
Christian and a personal
It's his
history
boy.
that would translate on screen. Vince took the advice and the switch was made. Daniels never ended up wrestling in WWE. Instead, he made a name for himself in Ring of Honor, TNA,
Hmm.
and later AEW. But let's be honest, this was probably the better decision
Right.
because Edge and Christian wanted to become one of the most legendary tag
Indeed.
teams ever.
Not
That
to mention they're homies, so that's the connections right there.
would likely never happen if Christian debuts somewhere else. Number 4, Hulk Hogan with the Bullet Club. In 2017, the Bullet Club was
Here's the thing. Yes, another Bullet Club's a heel, and I rock with them, but at the same time, hell to the no, no, no. L- Why would y'all think that? I guess he has a better notoriety in wrestling, but out of all people, why in the blue hell do you want Hulk Hogan as part of a Bullet Club? Come on now, that would have made it even worse than the NWO oversaturation. Like, come on now. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know why they even thought that. I mean, again, I know they the Hill faction. I'm not rocking with it, but at the same time, I mean, why would you do that? Come on now.
arguably the hottest thing in wrestling, and Hulk Hogan wanted in.
Of
According to
course,
Cody
of course. Mm-mm.
Rhodes, Hogan reached out and expressed real interest in becoming part of the group during its peak. New Japan even considered it, but Hogan reportedly asked for a huge appearance fee, around
Right,
$75,000 for one
exactly,
show, and just like that,
exactly,
the talks would end. The Bullet Club
exactly,
had its share of members, from Prince Devitt to Kenny Omega to Jay White, but Hogan just would have been a weird fit. The Bullet Club
exactly,
was built on rebels and fresh faces, not guys from the 80s looking for one
exactly.
more payday. Number 3, Test and Val Venus in DX. After Shawn Michaels
I can kind of see this. 'Cause I'm like see, I can see them also being like a little faction, a little too, or a tag team as well. But Low can kind of see that, especially on a cool Deval Venus. But yeah, it was like it would look awkward, but I can kind of see in a way.
left DX in 1998, the WWE toyed with the idea of bringing in some new blood. Two names floated around, and that was Test and Val Venus. Test was seen as a future main eventer, and Vince Russo allegedly
R.I.P.
compared
Test.
him to a young Kevin Nash. On the
That I give him the red time I give Vince Russo prop for that. I always said that he low key remind me of Kevin Nash doing his Diesel days, and I always said that to myself that these tests did kind of remind me of Diesel in a way. On the little, he did though, for real. I mean, he could have had a little more energy, but he definitely his moves, his mannerism, the way he did remind me of. Kevin Nash when he was Diesel in a way, definitely. So yeah.
On the other hand, Val Venus had his adult film star gimmick, which
Mm-hmm.
had the edgy attitude that
Yup.
could have meshed well
Per-
with DX on
That's
paper.
why I feel that was perfect, especially because that little gimmick right there. Of
But Triple H and the other members just weren't
course.
feeling it.
Of
They knew the
course.
group had a certain vibe, and
Man,
forced
of
additions
course.
would mess that up,
Like
so
it's
they
like
stuck with
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn, and the rest is history. Val Venus and Test both had solid mid-card
They
runs,
did.
but neither would have fit in the unpredictable energy of DX, so this was a good call by Triple H. Number 2, Big E with the Shield. Before Big E ever threw pancakes or
I can see now. Reason why I can see that because at the time these were like they're still pretty much the top guys of NXT, and he was one of them. I think um he was on the verge of getting the championship against Seth before Seth made his debut as part of the Shield because Shield Seth was still the NXT champion when he made that transition to become part of with Shield or anything, but. You can kind of see that because he was part of the top NXT guys at the time from that class. So yeah,
yelled, "Don't you dare be sour," he was almost a member of the Shield. When
he
WWE
already, and if you saw when he first came out, he already had that little silent but deadly gimmick was well too when he was like randomly a bodyguard for Dolph Ziggler at AJ
forming the
Lee.
trio in 2012, Big E's name was seriously considered alongside Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. But the WWE decided to pivot, giving Big E his own path by pairing him with Dolph
Yep,
Ziggler and AJ Lee instead.
yep,
Looking back, it was the right move.
it
The Shield
was.
became one of the most dominant trios of all time, and Big E went on to become one of the most beloved wrestlers of his
Yes, to this
generation
day.
with the New Day.
And and shout out to the man. He just got him and his girlfriend's get. I think they got married. About to get married anyway. Congrats though.
It's just wild to
And
think
get speed and recovery as well too. If he even decided to retire because I know the situation with the neck is like so right
about
now.
him with a tactical vest entering through the crowd and doing triple power bombs. But yeah, the split worked
It's like
out for
me.
everyone in my opinion. And number 1, we have Mark
Yup,
Jindrak and
yup. The one I told
Evolution.
you about.
This one might be the most famous what if in wrestling history. In the early 2000s, WWE was forming Evolution. You had Triple H, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton who needed a fourth guy, and Vince was sold on Mark Jindrak. They even filled vignettes with him, but
Yup.
Triple H wasn't feeling it. He thought that Mark lacked maturity and didn't fit with the group's
Yup.
dynamic. After pushing back hard, Hunter convinced McMahon to hold off. Eventually, Batista got the spot, and Evolution became one of the greatest factions of all time. Mark Jindrak eventually found success in Mexico, but in WWE, he'll always be the guy who missed out on greatness by just that much. Anyways, that is
Yeah, so there you have it though. Yeah, yeah, and then but I think I remember from the attitude the ruthless aggression thing that they was hold off. They did it because at the time Batista was like the first idea, but he was injured at the time, so they couldn't do it. So they went they was gonna go with it and instead he instead like I said Mark like I said he was too immature at the time. Oh, sorry about that. I had to just do something for my mom. But anyway, other than that, but yeah. I think they originally wanted Batista, but he was injured at the time, so they went they about to go on Mark, but like I say, he was mature enough, especially him and Orton being tight right there wasn't a good look as well too. So yeah. Well other than that, if you like my reaction to this, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.